Hey there, do you find yourself never fully enjoying your present moment because your mind is always wandering? If you have come to realize that the wandering mind is an unhelpful habit and you'd like to overcome this, then stick around, my friend, because I'm going to be offering you 3 science-backed mindfulness practices that help you get right back into the now. Hey everyone, and welcome to part 3 in this 5-part series on how to cultivate more love and happiness into your life. If this is the first time we're meeting, my name is Farzana. I'm a life coach and a transformation teacher, and I help people just like you to navigate through the process of change and personal development. So to quickly recap, in the previous 2 episodes, we talked about the foundations of cultivating happiness, which is self-love and gratitude. So love yourself and be grateful for your one and only precious life. Be grateful that you have been given another day and another chance to experience love, laughter, joy, creativity, more service, more perfect self-expression of who you really are. So why is mindfulness and being fully alive in the present moment so important? Well, the most obvious reason is because the now is where you are alive, right? It's the only real time. The past has already happened, and you can't do anything to change anything about the past. You can think differently about it, you can reframe it, but you can't actually travel back in time and change anything about it, right? We can all agree on that. And the future is also non-existent. It is not here yet, and it's never actually ever tomorrow, right? It's always today. It's always now. That beautiful future that you have in your vision board and you visualize and that you daydream all gets created by the actions that you take in the here and now. And so that's why you want to be mindful of staying in the now, because the now is the only real time, and it's the only time in which you have absolutely any power to be able to change things, to be able to actually take action. And the now is the only real time where you are actually experiencing anything, right? Like you want to experience love and laughter and beauty. That all happens in the now. You cannot experience love and joy and happiness while your mind is elsewhere, right? You have to be where your body is, and your body, as you know, is always right here, right now. Even though we all understand that the past and the future are non-existent, and that when we are spending time in the past or the future, we are basically not alive in the now, right? Because we are off in ghostland, phantom time. When we know that the past and the future doesn't even exist, why do so many of us keep going there? We go to the past or the future because we're trying to escape the now. Something about the now is just uncomfortable, right? Because maybe change is happening. We are out of our comfort zone in some way or the other. Things are happening that we are uncomfortable with, that we somehow feel we can't cope with or deal with, and so we want to escape. Escape to the past, to better times. Escape to the future, to also imagined better times. But the unfortunate truth is that as soon as you start going to visit the past to relive happier days, With our natural negativity bias, I mean, this is just all of us. It's not just you and it's not just me. As humans, we are wired with this negativity bias that we always will remember the negative. So even though we'll try to escape to the past to try and go back to happier times, before we know it, we're actually in the past, and all of a sudden we are now rehashing our failures, our mistakes, and all the regrettable and unskillful things we have done. And then we start punishing ourselves, judging ourselves, and not feeling really good. We're feeling worse than we were in the present moment, right? And if we are stressing about the past and all your past mistakes that you have made, then more than likely when you start thinking about the future, even though you are daydreaming about a better future, that negative bias is going to pull you back into worry, thinking that your future is going to be not that great because it's going to convince you that the future is going to be exactly like the past, where you have experienced unhappiness and failure and mistakes and regrets and so forth. And so even though you think that you'll get happier by escaping the now, you actually create more anxiety, right? Being able to stay in the present moment and being able to deal with whatever is actually going on is a vital skill. When we can't deal with the here and now, then the untrained mind will look to distraction to try and escape the now. And how do we escape the now? We escape the now through very unhelpful distractions, right? We'll distract ourselves by binging out on Netflix, hours on hours of playing video games. Or perhaps you're going to start drinking, or maybe you're going to start drugging, or maybe you're going to start scrolling through your social media, right? And all of these things, that's fine in moderation, right? Playing a video game here and there, we need to chill out. That's great. Watching a movie, that's great. But it's when you're using these distractions to escape the here and now, to escape your responsibilities, that's when it becomes a problem, right? But ultimately, all of these distractions are unhelpful and keep us stuck because we're not moving forward in any sense. We're not coming up with solutions. We're not being creative. We're just not dealing. How many people have you known or heard about who have wasted their potential or wasted their entire life in some form of distraction simply because they could not deal with the current reality, could not deal with the present moment? All right, so now that we see the value of staying in the here and now and being able to deal with the here and now and coming up with solutions and taking actions to actually create a better future, now let's get into the 3 practices to help us train our mind to be able to stay in the now. All right, so my number 1 favorite mindfulness practice to immediately feel better in my mind and in my body and in my heart is yoga, especially hatha yoga. And the reason that yoga works for me and the reason it works for everybody else is that yoga is the unification of the mind, body, and spirit via the breath. A traditional yoga practice involves breathing exercises, meditation, and poses that flow from one to the next to encourage relaxation, releasing of tension, and the releasing of anxiety and stress. In our yoga practice, staying mindful, we become aware of the sheer joy of breath. the joy of our beautiful body, the joy of the present moment, the joy in the unification of our mind, body, and spirit. During yoga practice, you will also practice deep breathing. Deep breathing increases the supply of oxygen into our brain, which then stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting a sense of well-being and relaxation in our entire system. And then when we are at ease, we feel safe and at home in the body and in the present moment. And the beauty of yoga is that you don't even have to leave your home, right? You can do yoga at any time in your own home. We have the internet, and there are a million wonderful yoga teachers with wonderful yoga channels that you can turn on anytime that works for you, right? Now, again, with any kind of practice, to fully get any benefits, it's good to try for at least 30 days. If you really want to be able to make it a practice that has now become a habit, try doing it for 90 days, right? And see what sort of benefits you get. Hey, if you're getting value from this video, from the tips and techniques and practices being shared, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and like the video, because what that does is it tells YouTube to push this video and this channel to a larger audience so that even more people can benefit from the tips and techniques and the wisdom being shared. Practice number 2 that I have found super helpful in bringing me into the present moment and helping me to relax my mind and reduce anxiety about the uncertainty of the now and the future is the practice of Metta, or loving kindness meditation. Meditation is scientifically proven to reduce stress and anxiety. A consistent meditation practice quite literally rewires your brain to be less anxious and less inclined for the negativity bias, less apt to be distracted, and therefore able to stay in the present moment more and more often for longer and longer periods of time. So Metta, or loving kindness, is a meditation practice that the Buddha gave to a group of monks who were taking a very long retreat into the forest. And the Metta meditation is an antidote to fear and anxiety. For an overthinking mind, repeating a mantra is extremely helpful. Why so? Because when you are repeating a mantra or a set of phrases, our mind, which can only generally think of one thing at a time, repeating a mantra, the mind is focused only on the mantra and therefore no longer focusing on worry and negative thoughts. The mind comes back home into the body when it feels welcomed and when it feels safe. So the 4 phrases that are repeated start with repeating the phrases for yourself, and then repeating the phrases for somebody else, and then repeating the phrases for all living beings. And the phrases go like this: may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live in easeful peacefulness. So once you have said the phrases for yourself, you can then say the phrases for somebody else, as in, may you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live in easeful peacefulness. And then you move out to the broader spectrum, to all living beings. May all beings be happy, may all beings be healthy, may all beings be safe. May all beings live in easeful peacefulness. So as you can see, these are very simple phrases that are easily remembered and can be spoken and repeated anytime, anywhere, any place. The metta practice is all about softening your heart and opening your heart so that you can feel love in the present moment. This brings us right into mindful practice number 3. And this is the practice of coming fully alive and fully into the present moment via our senses, like smelling life, tasting life, feeling life, and just being time to really delight and savor in the moment. So if in this moment I'm about to eat this beautiful red tomato, I'm not going to be at the same time being on the phone or scrolling through social media or checking my email and such, right? I want to be fully present with this tomato. I want to check it out, like feel it, right? I'm in my sense of feeling with my hand. I'm in my body. I'm touching the roundness of this tomato. I'm feeling the softness of the skin, the smoothness with my nose. I'm smelling that delicious smell of a tomato. Do you smell it? And I'm seeing the beauty with my eyes. I'm seeing how lovely this red is, what kind of red it is. I'm looking at the seeds and how many seeds and how freaking actually beautiful this tomato is, right? So by the time that I have eaten this tomato, I have been fully present with it. I have enjoyed it with all of my senses. And that is a true live experience. Wow, this tastes so good. That taste happens in the now. All of the wow. Wow, what a beautiful sunset. That happens in the now. So just remember that. All of the wow happens in the now. So be here now in the present moment. So those are 3 of my favorite mindfulness practices that help me to come right here into the present moment and be with the moment, however it is. And I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. What are some practices that you use to bring yourself into the present moment and to be with whatever is going on? And let me know which of these 3 practices you already practice or perhaps are going to give a try. My name is Farzana. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you as always. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider sharing it with somebody else who may also find benefit